Hello model railroad fans, welcome to Vintage Road and Rail, and happy anniversary to me. Now, you're probably wondering, what's with these items on this table, and why am I wishing myself a happy anniversary? Well, I'll tell you what, let me get this set up on a tripod, get these items out of the box, and then, if you don't mind indulging me in a little bit of backstory, I'll fill you in on why I'm wishing myself a happy anniversary. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. Alright, I am on the tripod here, and I've kind of arranged everything here so that you'll have something interesting to look at while I ramble for just a few moments. So if you've clicked on this video, obviously you saw the title of the video, and you pretty much know where I'm going to go with this when I wished myself a happy anniversary. The date that I'm publishing this video is March 26th, 2022, and it was exactly 2 years ago on a Thursday, March 26, 2020, that I re-entered the world of model railroading. So I'm going to stop right there, and then I'm going to go back in time about 42 years maybe, something like that, 41, 42. And when I was 5 years old, I got a train set from my mother as a gift, and I will link it at the end of this video, my 100 subscriber special, where I showed that train set that I still have, but the long and short of it is it's a Silver Streak. And so I got that when I was 5. That was 1979. And for the next 5 years, I was, all about the trains, but really all it was a circle of track that my dad would from time to time set up on the table in the kitchen, or sometimes on the floor if we didn't have, if it was an area where there was no carpet. And I would run that train set. And over time, I picked up a couple of other cars, like I remember getting a Kansas and Tennessee Manto Estate car, and probably a few others that I don't really remember. And then in 1984, I kind of forgot all about that when Transformers come out, and that was kind of the new thing I'd moved on to. And I've been collecting Transformers ever since. Now, I did, when I was a teenager, my brother and I, we made a half-hearted attempt to get back into trains, but really all that was is we went to Toys R Us, picked up a few train cars, oohed, nod over them for a few minutes, and that was that. And I didn't revisit model railroading at all until 2004, when, just out of curiosity's sake, I looked on eBay and found a boxed version of Silver Streak. So I bought it, I got it, looked at it, put it back in the box, and it's been there ever since. Just didn't really have anywhere to set it up. I didn't have the space for it, and it just kind of got forgotten about. Then after that, I picked up an N-scale train set with the idea that I might be able to set it up on the coffee table. I never really did much with that either. And that was pretty much the end of model railroading for me until 2020, March 26th. Now, everybody is familiar with the events of the past couple of years, so I don't need to say it out loud as to why I was at home on lockdown. But many of us were, locked down. And I was bored. I needed something to do. And I'm not entirely sure why it suddenly hit me. Why don't you get into electric trains? You loved them when you was a kid. So I went on eBay and I found these items right here. These are my very first purchases that I made on March 26th, 2020. It represents 3 different auctions that were Buy It Now that I bought that day. And as luck would have it, that following Monday or Tuesday, all of these come in at the same time. So that's why I consider them my first purchases, because I bought them on the same day, and luckily they all came in on the same day. Alright, so that's enough backstory here. So let's take a look at these first items that I purchased, and you can't really see it. I'm going to pick up the tripod, but I have got a Midnight Special locomotive and caboose sitting over there that we're going to see if it will handle pulling these cars around the track. It runs pretty good, but you know, Tycos are not the best pullers. So anyway, so let's take a look at these cars real quick. But before we do that, let's take a look at these catalogs. So this was probably, probably about it, this was my first purchase on eBay, as I spotted these catalogs, and I got both of these for I think like $5, with I think $2 or $3 shipping, something like that. And I thought, since I'm going to get back into model railroading and buying Tyco stuff, which, because to me that was model railroading. I collect Tyco stuff, I love Tyco stuff, but I've since moved on to regular running, you know, DCC stuff down at the club, you know, here, but Tyco will always be special to me, and I love to collect it. So anyway, I thought this would be a good way of knowing what's available and what I can buy. So when we look at the 1977 catalog, we'll just flip through. You know, there's a lot of neat stuff in here, locomotives, cars, you know, so lots of cool stuff to see. And in fact, I did a video, and if I can remember, I'll post that at the end for you to see if you haven't. This train set, I've got this complete and in the box. I did a video on that, so I'll post that. Got it at a train show. And then I got this one, and when I looked through this, I was really excited because it actually had my first train set, Silver Streak. Alright, so that's those two catalogs. So now let's work our way through these train cars. We're not going to go heavy into them. All of these are complete. They have their wheels, they have their couplers. I keep forgetting what these stupid things are called, these little steps here. I don't know why I keep forgetting. But anyway, they're all present. None of them are broken off. Alright, so let's start with the Ajax car, which I think is a beautiful color of blue. And here it is. Looks like it's Union Pacific. Heavy duty laundry detergent. And all of these are billboard cars, because that was kind of the thing I remembered the most about Tyco back in the day, was that they had those neat things on the side of their cars, the billboard cars. And here's the other side. Keep it in frame here. And as you can see, everything is intact. And I believe someone may have added a little bit of weight to it. It feels a little heavier than this next car we're going to look at, the Boraxo, I guess I should say. Another billboard car. Cleans dirty hands. Really good shape. And I think this one is missing its wheel. I just noticed that. But everything is complete. And I'm still trying to remember what we call those steps. I don't know why my brain is short-circuiting on me here. Alright, so these were two covered hoppers. And now we're going to move on to a center flow hopper. Old Dutch cleanser. Since I've gotten this car, there must be a ton of these out there, because I've got like 5 of these. At one point I thought maybe this was the most manufactured car, but I think actually it's the Virginian hopper that is. But it has its brake wheel, and so did the Ajax car. But looks really good. Really nice center flow hopper. And in fact, I really love these center flow hoppers. I've been on a bit of a collecting spree for these cars. You know, doesn't matter who makes them. Everyone from Athearn to Tyco. Alright, and so next we're going to move into some reefers. So we'll start with this Baby Ruth billboard car. Now I'm going to point out a few things about this one and that Hershey here in just a moment. Actually, let me just set this aside and let's move over to the Dairyman's. And this is the Dairyman's League. This is, I believe, a wood-sided reefer car. And it would have carried milk and probably other dairy products. And it has its brake wheel. Looks really good on both sides. So let's set that over here. And now let's look at this Hershey reefer. Great looking car. Got its brake wheel. Everything's intact. Now, with this one, I've got the box to it somewhere. I put metal wheels on there, and I clipped off the old coupler, and I body mounted a coupler here and put Katie's on it. I did that on both sides. So to give me, and I also added some weight. So to make sure that this would run with the rest of this train, because everything else has the horn hooks, I took and just, this coupler, this truck I left alone, but I popped in one that I have here with a Katie coupler to kind of serve as an adapter car. And I did the same thing with that caboose over there, and this will sit in between this car and the caboose, and that way we can pull everything around. Alright, so that's just the quick and dirty of my first purchases that got me into this wonderful hobby of model railroading. I tell you, I could kick myself for not getting into this sooner, but the best time to get into it would have probably been 10, 20 years ago, but the second best time was when you do get into it. So, you know, a little nugget of wisdom there for you. How's that? Alright, so let me stop the video here, and I'm going to load these cars up on the track, and I'll take this off the tripod, and we'll let this do a couple of laps around the layout here, and then we'll call that quits on this video for today. Alright, well, one moment, and I'll be right back. Alright, I've got everything on the track here, so let's just give this a quick scan through. So, at the head of the train, we've got our Midnight Special Shark Nose locomotive, followed by the Ajax covered hopper, the Boraxo covered hopper, our Old Dutch Cleanser center flow hopper, our Dairyman's reefer, our Baby Ruth reefer serving as an adapter car. Then we have our Hershey reefer, and then we'll just swing around here so we can get a little bit better look. Then we got, for the tail end, we've got our Midnight Special caboose, and again it's basically serving as an adapter as well, because I needed to be able to connect it. Alright, so I'm going to step back and just give it a good pan across, and then I'm going to get this puppy started. So we're pulling 6 cars in a caboose, so a total of 7 cars. She's lit up, and there she goes. Alright, model railroad fans, and especially those who love Tyco, this is what re-entered me into the world of model railroading, and I'm so glad that I did. Well, while we're watching this go around the track here, I've kind of told you my story as to what got me back into model railroading. So if you've watched, watching this video, and you're someone who, like me, maybe was into model railroading as a kid, then didn't do nothing with it for a long time, then got back into the hobby. Could be recent, could be a few years ago, just whatever. Or if you're someone who's completely new, you've never done anything, and then just one day you got into the hobby, mention it down in the comments. I'd like to, look at that story and, kind of compare it with my own, I guess. And if you have this locomotive or any of these cars, let me know in the comments. Alright, well, I'm going to shut up for just a moment, and let's just enjoy a couple laps. Alright, well, I think this is a good place to stop this video. Thank you very much for joining me on this 2-year anniversary of my entry into model railroading. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be alerted as to when I have, more content, more videos up. Alright, well, again, thank you very much for joining me. Happy model railroading, guys. Take care.